welcome to another episode of the Nonstop Review. I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello everybody.
Now, those of you familiar with the podcast know that what we like to do is we like to dive straight in and not mince words. However, today, that's all we're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's just a complete word blender today. They're just minced to high heaven.
Pretty much, yeah. We're taking a little bit of a brief look back at Season 3 as we've finally finished it. And, what we did last time is we pretty much just looked at the leaderboard. And while I have that up, I think we're also going to focus on just individual moments we want to highlight. And, the first thing I want to mention is that, rather interestingly, Rick, for like the first 3 episodes, we were both on the same wavelength for MVPs.
Yes, we were. Like, I think Stephen got a lot of MVPs early season, and it set the tone for the whole season.
Yeah, pretty much. It was, because unfortunately, for like the first half at the very least, most of the episodes were towny episodes.
Yeah, there was like 9 episodes in the middle where there was only basically 1 gem episode.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake, I keep doing the same thing. I apologise. But yeah, like, first episode, we both gave it to Steven. Second episode, we both gave it to Peridot. And third episode, we both gave it to Lapis. And
yeah.
Weirdly enough, sod's fucking law, that ended up being our final 3.
Yeah.
Right, Steven came in first, then Peridot, and then Lapis. One of the problems we've found with keeping the MVP leaderboard is that for a lot of episodes, it'll be a one-person episode, so we both obviously give the MVP to that person. And then, well, looking at the final form, or final board, I should say, you may or may not notice that if you have more than 1 point, you're pretty much guaranteed to be on the board by the end.
Yep. Because we got, we've even got 3 people at the bottom of the leaderboard on 1 point. Unfortunately, one of them is Connie, which is a bit of a problem for her, because this is the series where she actually starts to really come into her own.
She was only in 1 episode.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the problem. And, like, we both gave Stevonnie at least 1 MVP.
What's your point?
Well, basically, that any benefit that Connie gets is kind of split with Stevonnie.
Oh my days! I'm so sorry. When you said Connie, I thought you meant Sadie.
Oh yeah, no, not Sadie. No.
Okay.
Sadie's gone. Sadie's off the leaderboard. She got a 1, and then she's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you saying that, even looking back at the MVP board, Stevonnie was on the board before Connie.
Yeah.
But yeah, another interesting thing is, you may or may not notice, but the winner of the previous season didn't even come on our board.
Yeah, Garnet is gone at the moment, as far as we can see.
We did give her an award. Technically, we gave her 2 because of the Ruby award early on the Hit the Diamond, I want to say the episode was called.
Yep. That's probably my favourite of the season.
I'd agree with you if it wasn't for that second to last episode when the Rubies came back.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Garnet did get an MVP award, kind of 2 if you split hairs. But yeah, it's very odd that we ended the season with one of the core cast not on the board.
Yeah. Well, if it weren't for like the last few, then Amethyst would have been missing as well, because she was conspicuously underperforming in this season until the last 5 episodes or so.
Well, let's put it this way: episode 14 is when we finally filled out the board, and we still didn't have Amethyst.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest with you, the only reason we had Pearl is because, if I recall correctly, I gave her an award because she looked really good in a suit.
Yeah, it's from the Mr. Greg episode. It was basically, we split it between Greg and Pearl during that episode.
No, Greg's not on the board.
Is he not?
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about the episode with the pizza versus fries.
Ah, yeah. The ketchup is inside the fry.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest with you, another thankful thing, the only another reason why Lapis managed to actually keep her place is because she's had 2 episodes this series, same with Peridot.
Yeah. And then, obviously, the Barnmates episode, which is both of them.
Yeah, Barnmates was a bit of a, I don't want to say controversial, because that makes us sound more important than we are, but, when you said Peridot, it was like, okay, well, I've got to give the other one to Lapis, because they're both so funny.
Yeah, like, you can't have Laurel and Hardy without the and.
Okay. Rather interestingly, I think this is the first time we've had a villain on the board, let alone so high up.
Yeah, so Jasper appeared more in this season, and because she appeared more and was more of a repeating threat, that gave her more chance to shine as both a villain and a character in general.
I get you. Like, we got the revelation on the third to last episode, where the reason why Jasper's such a bastard is because she thinks she's still fighting Rose.
Yeah, she thinks she's still fighting against Rose, Rose Quartz. She thinks she's fighting against the one that killed her original diamond of Pink Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that she's now following Yellow Diamond is because, all of Pink Diamond's troops that survived got orphaned.
Yeah.
And, that's why she's Peridot's boss, because Peridot is just straight up a Yellow Diamond Peridot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Speaking of, we also learned that Peridots don't have powers anymore, except for this one.
Yeah. She awakens to powers completely. Basically, she didn't expect to awaken to powers, and she just looks at Amethyst with complete jealousy whenever she does something effortlessly, like stretching.
Yeah.
And that was actually the one episode in the middle of the big old glut of Townie and otherwise. Okay, Mr. Greg and Too Short to Ride were both in the middle of that glut, but Too Short to Ride is the one that's I would say is a gem episode because it's Amethyst and Peridot as well as alongside Steven, in a big bunch of non-gem episodes, and it was the one that was like an island in the sea of waiting for the better half of the season.
Well, I made no secret of it even early on that one of the moments I was waiting for was, well, let's get it out of the way, Bismuth.
Oh yes. So speaking of villains, she's not really a villain. She's like unequivocally heroic and friendly, and the only thing that's anything other than that is the fact that she's more of an extremist than Rose Quartz was.
Yeah, I distinctly remember having the conversation of, I feel like Steven proved, even before he didn't fuck her up, that he was better than Rose by the fact that there was a dialogue happening.
Oh yeah, totally.
My suspicion is 100% before Bismuth could even properly argue her case, which I don't agree with. Her opinion was warped and incorrect from my point of view. However, I think from the bottom of my heart that Rose probably didn't even hear it and just went, nope, you're disagreeing with me, go away.
You're too violent to be left alive, bubble.
Which I'll give credit where credit's due, at least she didn't smash her.
Yeah, or corrupt her, which is what the Homeworld gems did.
Yeah, but by all accounts, corrupting wasn't something Pink did.
No, she was just there to shield like 3 people from it, and that's it. But yeah, like it's a weird one where if Bismuth knew everything, she would not have even tried to come up with this solution.
It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because the gems as a race are essentially immortal.
Yeah.
And Bismuth she essentially invented a gun.
Yeah.
And it's just like, cool, I can now remove a lot of problems. However, the problem is, before this was invented, because essentially it was like, here's one, we can smash gems at will, I can make more.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking problem.
Yeah, she brought acid to a troll fight.
Why is it always got to be D&D with you?
But yeah, she's basically, like you say, she found a way to destroy the Immortals and is quite happy to start mass producing them. And it's just Rose Quartz that goes, no, I don't want to do that. I want to have my war on my terms and have my exit, my emancipation, and I want to do it with as few casualties as possible, but I'm also going to accept the casualties that happen. And Bismuth's like, why stop there?
I don't agree with Bismuth's fundamental standpoint of, let's just smash them, and then that gets rid of the constant reinforcements because they can't regen, right? However, I get it. If you're a soldier who's been fighting a war for a long goddamn time, and you're like, here's a super weapon that could potentially end the war, you're gonna push for it.
I think the problem with super weapons is that the escalation is the big problem. Like, you show that you have a Death Star and you're not afraid to use it. What does your opponent have to lose by giving everything against you now?
I get what you're saying, but again, I don't agree with the method. I'm just saying that from the point of view of, you've been fighting a war for 1,000 years and there is no ending in sight. I've got this magic device which is going to turn the tide and put an end to things. You're not going to ask questions. You're going to go, oh, cool, yeah, let's use it. It's literally the Lord of the Rings. Oh, yeah, we have the One Ring. Let's use it against him.
Yeah, I think we're both on the page of, I don't agree, but I get it.
I get it. And also, like, Bismuth's in a weird, man out of time situation, isn't she? Because
she's literally only just woken up. She doesn't know what the new times are.
She's also, for her, it's been 2 seconds, but for everyone else, it's been like thousands of years. Amethyst wasn't born when Bismuth got bubbled.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very obvious. That's one of the more interesting parts of the episode, where Garnet was probably pretty young as Garnet when the war came to its kind of end, or its hiatus. So it would have been like pretty soon into Garnet time when Bismuth got bubbled. And yeah, like you say, Amethyst is a lot younger than that. So yeah, it is weird like that. And Amethyst just goes, yeah, does anyone want to introduce this person?
I was actually on. If Bismuth stuck around for longer, I wouldn't have been surprised if the jealousy stuff would have flared up again, but with directed towards Bismuth.
Yeah, Bismuth instead of Steven, yeah. Because, like, part of Amethyst's main character arc in this season is feeling completely useless because she's being overtaken by Stevani to begin with, and then just Steven, which, like, pushes her over the edge.
But it's like the Freezer problem of, I don't train and I don't take life seriously, and I'm still super badass and awesome, so why should I bother? And then, I got my ass kicked by a monkey.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go train for 4 months and achieve super gold status.
Like, for real. It's just one of those where Amethyst's core character trait, in my opinion, from my limited knowledge, is she is lazy.
Yeah, sit down, eat crisps.
And it's like, you can't have that lifestyle and then be surprised when people outperform you.
Especially when it gets pointed out to her a couple of times that she's not normal for a quartz. Like, they're meant to be bigger, they're meant to be stronger, they're meant to be tougher. And I think it's only really now that she starts to lean into the fact that she's not a typical quartz.
But I also think it's important to note that her slump affects her abilities as well, because when they're doing the training thing, and I believe I gave Pearl the MVP award specifically for this reason, when Amethyst is losing to Steven and Steven's up by quite a few points, Pearl takes her to one side and goes, hey, I know I said go easy, but not that easy.
Yeah, because Pearl knows not only can she do better, but she has done better.
Yeah, it's just, jeez, it's such a fucking, like, depression state thing of you just need the motivation.
And sometimes a statement like that is a bit of a nail in the coffin for your mood at the moment, you know?
But I get it. Everyone suffers from bouts of depression and going, just get motivated, just do it. It's like, it's not that easy. I understand that. However, 9 times out of 10, that is how you get out the slump, is you suddenly just gain a burst of motivation and, all of a sudden, life's okay for a bit.
Yeah, like, everyone always has energy. Not the same amount of energy, but there is some. And the problem, a lot of the time, is that it's pulled in so many different directions that you can't achieve anything. A lot of the time, the way to get out of the slump is for all the energy to align and be directed at something that you can demonstrably achieve, and then just have that under your belt for the time being, you know?
I think we're discussing 2 different points now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, like we say, Bismuth is the big new character of this series, but we also have another one. We've got Vidalia.
I'm sorry?
Vidalia.
She got introduced last season, bro.
Was she last season? I thought she was...
This season, we got to see her as her young self during a flashback.
Oh, yeah, young Vidalia, yeah.
That's why we have young Vidalia on the leaderboard and not old fucking, I will shoot you if you come in my house, Vidalia.
Yeah. Yeah, young Vidalia is, she's very much a mood.
I gotta be honest with you, like, again, I might be revealing my creep roots, but, like, I'd fucking chill and more with old Vidalia.
Yeah.
I don't care that she wears overalls and slippers.
I mean, that's just Ida.
Ida has one outfit is the thing.
She has 2 outfits.
Didn't she use the other one on Grum Night and that was it?
Well, she's got the red outfit for leaving the house, and she's got slippers for in the house.
That's not 2 outfits. That's a change of shoes.
Well, she's got like the pajamas and slippers is what I mean.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked by another show that we both adore.
Although that being said, I do think I agree with the statement of Steven Universe walked so that shows like the Owl House and Amphibia could run.
Oh, yeah, totally. And yeah, I believe that it had actually finished before both of them started, but not by much.
Depends if you include Future.
Sure.
I think if you take Future out, Steven Universe has been off the air for like 5 years.
Yeah.
But if you're going by Future, then yeah, because I think Future stopped in 18 or 19, and again, that's just vague information from WikiDive, so I've not retained much of it.
But yeah, so other things we had. The Mr. Greg episode was, it dove into something that we already knew, which was that Pearl and Greg have beef, and it's all because of Rhodes Quartz and how Pearl is a jealous ex, whereas Greg seems to have accepted loss a lot better than Pearl has.
Well, here's the thing, isn't it? It goes back to the immortality thing of before Steven Universe was birthed from Rose Quartz, there was no realistic possibility of Rose Quartz just going away.
Yeah, like the only thing that could have made it happen is Bismuth's breaking point, something that could essentially shatter a diamond, and so that's why she had to fake her death with the sword.
Well, I don't know that, Rick. Fucking spoilers.
Well, you know that Pink Diamond kept on going, don't you? So
yeah, I know, but like I didn't know the specifics, prick.
But yeah, it's because Greg is from a race that is used to death. and has to deal with their death, that he's able to accept it in his own terms as a human, that he's able to get over it and kind of move on a little bit better. And also because he's more focused on Steven than the gems are, as far as I'm concerned, because I think the gems are focused on turning Steven into a new Rose until he becomes more of his own person, which is what he's done throughout the series. Like, it seems like they don't know that that's not going to happen eventually.
I'm glad you mentioned Greg being a good dad, because I recently saw a chart of the fucking lawful good and chaotic evil chart of cartoon dads, and they put Greg in true neutral, and I was like, that doesn't sound like Greg at all. As far as being a father goes,
I put him in neutral good because
I definitely put him in good as opposed to neutral. That's all I'm saying, because all right, he's not well off. Well, until this season where he does become well off.
Yeah, but that just solves a bunch of problems.
But for all intents and purposes, Greg is always there for little Steven.
Oh yeah, he totally is. Like, he goes out of his way, and he will lose money just to be there for Steven.
Like, I can't remember the exact episode. It's either the end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2, or it might have even been one of the Lapis episodes. I can't remember, where Greg takes the gems, Steven and Connie, to the site. It was the Lapis episode. It was where she was doing the water and trying to go back to space. And as they're fighting the water clones, Greg just stands there going, "Is this what you do all the time? Like, what the fuck?"
Yeah. It's one of those where if he had more of a say in how they live their lives, that would probably be the time where he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to forbid you from putting yourself in this amount of danger. However, if not you, then who?"
I think Greg's got enough wherewithal to know that even if he said you're forbidden from doing this, Steven would still do it. So what's the point?
Yeah, the world needs saving one way or the other.
But yeah, going back to Pearl being like,
Psycho X.
I think here's one of the problems with Pearl is that she saw her relationship to Rose differently to Rose saw their relationship. Because to Rose, and this is just the vibe I get from 3 seasons of television, don't lynch me, people. Rose definitely feels as if she treats Pearl as nothing more than a puppy, perhaps sex toy.
Yeah, so, yeah, like you say, to me it feels like Rose sees Pearl as a pet who can talk nonetheless, but still, like, the level of person that would be a pet and not, another person. And I think that's just a diamond thing. Like, they're unable of seeing anything that's not a diamond as an equal.
I don't even think it extends to that, because if you remember the very final episode, when Ruby thinks she's going to smash Rose Quartz, she says, "Oh, I'll get a pearl of my own." So I don't think it's even limited to diamonds. I think it's just gem society as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pearls in particular get the short end of the stick in this, in that they are just like Gucci handbags.
I do absolutely prefer the fan lore of Greg, Rose Quartz, and Pearl being in a happy polyamorous relationship. Do you remember when I sent you that comic of Rose dressed as Lady Demi? I can't pronounce her fucking name. Big titty goth lady from Resident Evil.
Okay. Let me Dimitrescu.
Yeah, well, you don't say the coup, which is part of the reason why I can't pronounce her name.
Dimitrescu apparently, but
and,
the ooh is just there.
And she says something along the lines of, "I crave human flesh," and it just cuts to Pearl with young Greg, which is always a bit jarring because of his hair. Just going, "Greg, I need to give you to the good vampire lady," and Greg just goes, "Yes, please." But yeah, I much prefer that because it's a lot happier. But you watch the show and it's like, yeah, even her relationship with Greg isn't entirely romantic. It starts from a inquisitive, scientific point of view. I have no doubt it evolves that there are some feelings. Like, I don't think she would have made Steven if she didn't have some sort of affection for humans as a whole, if not Greg. But
yeah, she romanticizes humans rather than likes them. Is what it seems to be.
Eventually, again, when she starts, it's very scientific. I want to learn everything.
Yeah, it's curiosity. It's curiosity that grows into romanticizing rather than romance. And it just so happens that Greg is the one that she's able to interact with and can reveal secrets to.
Do you think she would have been as interested if he didn't introduce himself as Mr. Universe?
Maybe not. Because I think she knows that he's not Mr. Universe, and yet she still chuckles at it.
Yeah. Anyway,
I also think the young Greg, the only thing that makes him look weird is the comparison of scale. Like, he looks like a squat raditz when he's next to Rose, because Rose is like 8.5 feet tall.
I think it's weird because he has Steven's face, even though he's a man.
Yeah. Like, he looks like he's squat, but we know that he's not.
Because Rose is fucking massive.
Yeah. And he is still pretty stout and and like he's not like super buff, but he's like broad, you know?
Yeah, but he's in better shape, shall we say, than when he's Old Man Greg.
Yeah.
I have seen pictures of Steg though, and that's hilarious to me.
Yeah, it was such a weird thing that when it happened. Oh my god. Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to the movie, I guess.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, alright, I guess there's not really much else to dwell on because we've only got a few minutes left on the timer, so I'm going to do a bit of a wind down, guys. Obviously, we're not going to do MVP, Weakest Link or anything because we don't do Weakest Link on this show, but also because we've done MVP, we've got the MVP board, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the top 3 once again and talk about it a little bit. So in third place with a solid 5 MVP awards is Lapis.
Yeah. So I think anytime Lapis comes along, she's a treat, simply because, well, you see someone who is a fundamentally broken person trying to accept people who are unequivocally accepting of her.
Okay. I think she got lucky to end up in third place.
Yeah.
She had 2 episodes dedicated to her, including one where she punches Jasper in the face, so of course she's getting the MVP.
If she had fewer episodes, then Bismuth would have been in third place.
Well, yeah. If it wasn't for the episode where we split between her and Peridot, Bismuth would have been in third because no one else would have gotten the award. You know, it's one of those. Bismuth got a bit cheated, but even then, we gave Bismuth double points because she was technically in 2 episodes.
Yeah, because the episode was like a double length episode. Yeah, we counted it as 2 episodes. We gave her the points.
We didn't count it as 2 episodes.
The show counted it as 2 episodes.
So it's like, yeah, cool. That's that we have to be fair.
Yeah. Can you think of a favourite Lapis moment from this season?
Yeah, when she called herself Bob.
Yeah, it was going to be mine as well. Hi, I'm Bob.
The fan art of Lapis is always a treat. Sometimes it's even more rewarding than the Peridot fan art.
Yeah.
Speaking of, in second place, we have Peridot with 7 points. I don't know about you, Rick, but I was under the impression from words that you said that she wasn't going to place so highly this season.
It's one of those where she has a strong start to the season, then kind of disappears until the middle, and then disappears again. So it's one of those where she steals episodes that she's in, but she's limited to the episodes that she's in.
I don't think she does steal episodes she's in. Like, the second episode is kind of unfair because it's a finale, but I definitely feel like the fact that she was so emotive compared to her usual neutrality was one of the reasons why we gave her the award, plus she cared so much for Steven. And then the next episode was, the carnival one, which, yeah, of course she's going to get the award. She was adorable.
Yeah.
And then the others, like, she just inched out other people. You know, I don't think she necessarily stole episodes.
Yeah. Can you think of a favourite Peridot moment?
I really liked how adorable she was during episode 2, where she thought they were going to die, and she was like, I like you more than other people, Stephen, and they were hugging.
Yeah, that was really sweet. Mine was probably when she solidified everything that she believed in by using her powers to take out Jasper.
It was more Smoky Quartz than her, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like it was Peridot that did the finishing blow.
But yes, in first place, finally reaching that elusive first place spot, is the titular character himself, Steven Universe. He has 11 points, but when you squint, technically he kind of has 14.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you roll up Steven and Stevani, then yeah, he's got a fair few more. By the same token, Carney technically has more than one, but yeah, it's
the only reason I don't bring attention to it is because even with the extra 3 points from Stevani, she doesn't breach the top 3.
No. But yeah, Steven, it's his show. I think this is the series where he really does start to come into his own as the main character rather than something that gem stuff happens around.
Well, it's one of those things as well where the thing that helped the most is that string of Townie episodes where it's like, well, I don't want to give it to the Townies because they're not interesting. 2, even when they were in the focal point of the episode, Steven is the one who put the effort in.
Yeah, a lot of the time, yeah. Like, there's a couple of exceptions to those, but generally, yeah, it's normally Steven. And can you think of a favourite Steven moment?
No, I can't. There's too many.
Mine's definitely going to be the compassion that he showed to his enemy Ruby in the last 2 episodes. Like, specifically the last episode when he saved her from drifting off into space before she tried to kill him.
I get you, man. It's Steven's fundamentally good trait is that he has endless compassion.
Yeah, it's just literally Steven in a nutshell. Like, that boundless compassion for even his most bitter enemy. It's like, it's Sailor Moon, but a guy. You yeah, you might beat someone, but the idea is to turn them into an ally in the long run, if you can.
But yeah, it also helps that Stephen is a child, and therefore his naivete can be excused.
Yeah, like he can weaponize his own naivete.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us today. We've had a look back, we've given our awards, and just a brief little update. Probably should have done this at the beginning, but oh well, we're doing it at the end. I hope you stuck around. Nonsense Retrospective isn't over. We are going to come back with beginning of season 4. However, Rick is going to be heading to Australia for a month very shortly, and essentially we didn't want to start season 4 and then have to stop.
Yeah, we didn't want to start, then stop, and then just, completely break the flow for an entire month, which, we're doing already, but if you were watching in real time, then there'd be like a year in between anyway.
So yeah, when when Nonstop Review returns, we are going to dive straight into season 4 of Steven Universe. It's going to be about 2 months.
Yeah, and we're going to be back on weekly as usual.
Yeah, we'll be doing it weekly. And yeah, that's all there is to say. I was going to say join us next week, but we won't be here next week. Nonsense Review and Nonsense Retrospective will be up as usual, so don't worry too much about those. Yeah, see you when we see you guys.
Yeah, join us for our other shows. Bye!